Baseball is usually a summer game, a sport that conjures images of sun-drenched afternoons, the crack of the bat echoing through warm air, and fans in short sleeves enjoying peanuts and Cracker Jack. But sometimes, baseball history is made not under the blazing sun, but beneath a shroud of cold, when the elements themselves become part of the story. On April 17, 2026, in Denver, Colorado, the Los Angeles Dodgers faced off against the Colorado Rockies, in conditions that were anything but typical. The city, known for its unpredictable spring weather, delivered a night that would go down in the record books, not for a dramatic home run or a no-hitter, but for the sheer, unrelenting cold that gripped Coors Field. The temperature at Coors Field plummeted to a bone-chilling 35 degrees Fahrenheit, making it the coldest game in Dodgers franchise history. Players could see their breath with every exhale, and the crack of the bat sounded sharper in the crisp night air. Even the baseballs felt harder, slicker, and more difficult to control. Players bundled up like Arctic explorers, layering thermal shirts beneath their uniforms and donning heavy jackets in the dugout. Some wore face coverings, their cheeks flushed red from the biting wind. In the stands, dedicated fans huddled together, wrapped in blankets and winter hats, their breath rising in clouds as they cheered on their teams. The atmosphere was electric, charged by the shared challenge of enduring the elements. Despite the freezing conditions, the Dodgers refused to let the weather dictate the outcome. Their focus and determination were evident in every pitch, every swing, and every play. The team's resilience and mental toughness shone through as they adapted their game to the harsh environment, refusing to let numb fingers or icy winds slow them down. When the final out was recorded, the scoreboard told the story, a decisive 7-1 victory for the Dodgers. It wasn't just a win on the field, it was a triumph over adversity, a testament to the team's ability to adapt, persevere, and thrive no matter what obstacles they faced. This wasn't just another game in the long baseball season. It was a statement. The Dodgers proved that their spirit and unity could overcome even the harshest conditions, turning a frigid night into a moment of unforgettable baseball history. On this historic night, the Dodgers' fire burned brighter than the cold could ever hope to extinguish, reminding everyone that greatness is often forged in the most challenging circumstances. Playing baseball in 35-degree weather is a battle against your own body. The cold seeps into your bones, making every movement feel heavier, every breath a visible puff in the night air. Even before the first pitch, players brace themselves for a night where the elements are as much an opponent as the team across the diamond. The stadium lights shine down on a field that looks almost surreal, with clouds of breath swirling around every player, and the stands filled with bundled-up fans clutching hot drinks, hoping to keep warm as they cheer on their team. Pitchers struggled to grip the slick, rock-hard baseball, making every pitch a challenge. The seams feel sharper, the leather less forgiving, and the cold numbs the fingertips, robbing pitchers of their usual touch and control. Each throw requires extra concentration, as the ball can slip or sail unexpectedly. Warming up between innings becomes a ritual, with pitchers constantly flexing their hands, blowing into their gloves, and searching for any way to regain feeling before stepping back onto the mound. Hitters faced stinging vibrations with every swing, their hands numb from the cold. The crack of the bat is replaced by a dull, painful thud that reverberates up the arms, making even a solid hit feel like punishment. Batters try to keep their hands warm with heat packs and gloves, but nothing can fully prepare them for the shock of contact in such frigid conditions. Every at-bat becomes a mental test, as players fight to stay focused despite the discomfort. The field was unforgiving. Ground balls took unpredictable hops, and sliding felt like skidding across ice. The infield dirt, hardened by the cold, turned routine plays into adventures, with balls bouncing higher or lower than expected. Outfielders had to be extra alert, as the ball could skip or slow down without warning. Sliding into a base meant scraping across a surface that felt more like sandpaper than soft dirt, leaving players with stinging hands and bruised legs. Even the umpires and coaches felt the chill, bundled up in layers, their breath hanging in the air as they tried to keep the game moving. Equipment grew cold and stiff, and every pause in play was a reminder of just how harsh the conditions were. Players blew into their hands, huddled around heaters, and wrapped themselves in jackets between innings. The dugout became a sanctuary, a place to regroup and try to thaw out before heading back into the cold. Teammates shared hand warmers and words of encouragement, knowing that everyone was fighting the same battle against the elements. The dugout was less about chatter and more about survival. Conversations were brief, focused on strategy and support, as players tried to conserve energy and warmth. The usual lighthearted banter was replaced by a quiet determination, each player lost in their own thoughts, mentally preparing for the next inning. Focus and discipline became the difference between success and failure. In these conditions, mental toughness was just as important as physical skill. Players who could tune out the cold and zero in on the game found ways to contribute, whether it was making a clutch play or simply keeping spirits high. Every inning was a test of endurance, both physical and mental. Fatigue set in faster, muscles tightened, and the temptation to give in to discomfort was ever present. But the drive to compete, to win, pushed players to dig deeper, to find reserves of strength they didn't know they had. Those who could block out the discomfort and execute their game plan thrived. It wasn't just about talent, it was about resilience, about refusing to let the weather dictate the outcome. The cold became a backdrop to a contest of willpower and heart. On this night, baseball was as much about grit as it was about skill. Every play, every pitch, every swing was a testament to the players' determination to overcome not just their opponents, but the biting cold itself. The Dodgers proved they could outlast the elements and their opponents. Their victory was more than just a win on the scoreboard. It was a triumph of perseverance, teamwork, and the unbreakable spirit that defines champions, no matter how cold the night. The Dodgers wasted no time, igniting the offense from the first pitch. Shohei Ohtani led off with a double, immediately putting pressure on the Rockies. The heart of the Dodgers' order followed with sharp, disciplined at-bats. Will Smith delivered a sacrifice fly, bringing Ohtani home for the first run. The Dodgers led 1-0 before the Rockies even stepped to the plate. This early strike was more than a run. It was a psychological blow to Colorado. The Dodgers' focus and preparation were clear, setting a dominant tone. In the cold, every run felt bigger, and the Dodgers seized the momentum. Their early execution showed they were unfazed by the weather or the moment. Max Muncy was unstoppable, his bat blazing through the Denver cold. On a night when most players would have struggled just to keep their hands warm, Muncy seemed to thrive in the frigid conditions. The temperature hovered just above freezing, and you could see every breath hang in the air, but that didn't slow him down one bit. From the very first pitch, he looked locked in, his focus razor-sharp despite the biting wind swirling through Coors Field. In the second inning, he crushed a solo home run, the crack of the bat echoing in the frigid air. The ball soared high into the night sky, cutting through the cold as if it were a warm summer evening. Fans, bundled in heavy jackets and scarves, erupted in cheers as the ball cleared the fence. It was a statement shot, letting everyone know that the weather wouldn't be a factor for Muncy tonight. He repeated the feat in the fifth, launching another solo shot, his 21st career multi-homer game and his fourth at Coors Field. Each home run seemed to sap the energy from the Rockies' dugout while igniting the Dodgers' bench. Muncy's confidence was palpable as he rounded the bases, pointing to the sky, soaking in the moment. The crowd buzzed with excitement, witnessing yet another chapter in his growing legend. Muncy added an RBI double, driving in 3 of the Dodgers' runs. His ability to deliver in clutch moments was on full display as he hustled into second base and pumped his fist toward the dugout. The Dodgers' offense fed off his energy, and his teammates greeted him with applause and cheers, knowing how tough it was to perform in such harsh conditions. While others tried to stay warm, Muncy was heating up the scoreboard. His focus and determination set him apart as he stood tall at the plate, unfazed by the cold that had everyone else shivering. The contrast was striking. While teammates huddled in the dugout, Muncy looked right at home in the batter's box, ready for his next big moment. His power display demoralized the Rockies and energized his teammates. Every time he stepped up, there was a sense of anticipation, as if something special was about to happen. The Rockies' pitchers looked frustrated, unable to find a way to cool off Muncy's red-hot bat. Meanwhile, the Dodgers' dugout was alive with excitement, feeding off his incredible performance. Hitting home runs in 35-degree weather is no small feat. The cold makes it harder to grip the bat, and the ball doesn't travel as far, but Muncy made it look effortless. Each swing was a testament to his strength and skill, and the scoreboard lit up with every run he drove in. Fans in the stands, bundled up against the chill, cheered even louder, knowing they were witnessing something rare. Muncy's performance was the centerpiece of the Dodgers' offensive explosion. His leadership on the field was evident, rallying his teammates and setting the tone for the entire lineup. The dugout celebrations grew louder with each of his big hits, and the team's confidence soared as they built a commanding lead. On a night when the Cold could have silenced bats, his was louder than ever. Muncie's passion and intensity were on full display, and his bat flips became a symbol of the Dodgers' dominance. The Rockies could only watch as he continued to deliver, inning after inning. For the Rockies, he was simply untouchable. No matter what they tried, they couldn't find an answer for Muncie's power. His performance in the Mile High City will be remembered as one of the most impressive displays of resilience and skill in challenging conditions. A true power surge that lit up the cold Denver night. While the Dodgers' bats roared, Tyler Glasnow quietly dominated on the mound. Pitching in the cold is brutal, but Glasnow made it look effortless. Over 7 innings, he allowed just 1 run on 2 hits, striking out 7. His command and poise never wavered, even as the temperature dropped. Glasnow's career numbers against the Rockies are stellar, and he continued that dominance here. He gave the Dodgers a long, steady start, saving the bullpen and setting the tone. His icy composure was the backbone of the Dodgers' victory. On a night built for excuses, Glasnow delivered excellence. He proved why he's the ace, unflappable, focused, and relentless. Rockies starter Tomoyuki Sugano had a night to forget. The cold rattled his command, and he labored through 4 innings, throwing 91 pitches. The Dodgers pounced on every mistake, tagging him for 5 runs and 5 extra base hits. Sugano's struggles were clear. He couldn't find the strike zone or keep the Dodgers' bats quiet. Despite the conditions, he refused to make excuses after the game. But the contrast with Glasnow was stark. One pitcher adapted, the other faltered. Sugano's rough outing set the tone for a long night for Colorado. Amid the cold and chaos, Shohei Ohtani quietly extended his remarkable on-base streak. On the first pitch he saw, Ohtani ripped a double, pushing his streak to 49 consecutive games. This achievement placed him among Dodgers legends, the 4th longest streak in franchise history. Ohtani's consistency is the engine of the Dodgers offense. Every game, he finds a way to get on base and spark a rally. His presence at the top of the lineup puts constant pressure on opponents. Even in brutal conditions, Ohtani delivered, again. His steady excellence is the foundation of the Dodgers' success. This game was a microcosm of the Dodgers-Rockies rivalry. The Dodgers' win was their 11th in 13 games, pushing their record to 15-4. The Rockies, meanwhile, dropped to 7-13, mired in a losing streak. Los Angeles has dominated Colorado, winning 12 of their last 14 matchups. The talent gap was obvious. Execution, confidence, and results all favored the Dodgers. For the Rockies, it was another reminder of how far they have to go. For the Dodgers, it was business as usual, dominance, regardless of conditions. The Rockies managed a single run in the 4th, thanks to Mickey Moniak's double and a groundout by Troy Johnston. It was a brief spark in an otherwise one-sided game. The Dodgers' pitching and hitting left Colorado searching for answers. For Los Angeles, this win was more than just another notch in the standings. It was proof of their resilience, focus, and championship mentality. Performances by Muncy, Glasnow,